Good afternoon, class. Here's the orientation for statistics. My name is Dr. Araipur. I have sent you several emails regarding the course. And now we are here. Here's the home page of your course campus. So let's get started. When you explore this, the very first thing you come across is a welcome message, basically welcoming you. I hope you have watched that. I'm very happy to have you here. And it's just a minute or 2 minute long welcoming message. Number two, we're just going to follow the numbers. Number two, the philosophy. Class philosophy indicates that this is a community, and therefore we all have the same objective, which is to learn. And we do this by respecting one another. Number three, announcements. You can click on the announcements here or on the left navigation bar. I'm going to put this in student view and click on the navigation bar. Either way is fine, the announcements. And there have been several announcements that they all have been emailed to you. Some old recorded orientation. I'm going to put the new one also here. Welcome and orientation, exemption to orientation, and welcome to your virtual course. I have sent you several emails. And so we are here. But anything that comes up that is emailed to you, most of the time also it's in the form of an announcement, can be found there. The next one, number four, let me first give you the synopsis of that. It says syllabus. Again, everything you can click on the syllabus right here or on the left navigation bar. Syllabus, modules, practice test, discussion forum, so on and so forth. We're going to explore the syllabus. Under the modules, we're going to have the practice test, the PowerPoints, solution to practice test. That's where we find the homework. Then we're going to go to the discussion forum and this optional sample test solution on the left side. We will explore exams and the office hours. So, starting with the syllabus. There are a couple of things. We have the syllabus, we have the Excel calendar. Excel calendar basically tells you what you should do to be at top of your game. Every few weeks we have an exam. For example, the first exam is happening in 3 weeks, and then we have the first assignment, a mandatory assignment to mom or my open math. Okay, I gotta get rid of this. We also have the syllabus here. Since they're getting longer and longer, I'm going to put it in the form of a topic. You can click on a topic of interest. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes exploring the whole thing, starting with, of course, the course and the name and the time, student learning outcome, course objective. The text you can find it here also. I will show you in my open math. Either way, you have an ebook. It's from OpenStax and it's free. Also, the digital homework done by mom, my open math, I'm going to refer to it as mom. It's also free. Here's the class calendar. Of course, the orientation takes place right now. You are here, and the exam that you could find it under the Excel file, you can find it also here. I've set up the exam so you can take it mainly on Saturdays. You will receive an email regarding the exam. All exams are password protected, and you can also find those when it's sent to you, after it is sent to you under the announcements. And you can take the exam anytime you receive the email until the due date. Of course, a few hours before that, you want to start. Omitting important dates, calculators, tables, formula sheets. You can use any graphing calculator. You can use a formula sheet. You can use a table for the exam. This is stat score, so you can use that for statistics. Then we have the tech support, math, success center, and information about various websites. And probably the most important thing for the students would be the grading policy. So we have the online homework worth 200 points. You can redo it as many times as you want. And when you start the homework, you can just do it in several sessions. When you're doing the homework, something comes up, you can leave, come back and do it. And so those are easy points, 200 points. Review, participation, discussion board. There are 5 of them, each one 20 points, total of 100 points. We have 4 exams, each one is 100 points, and the final, which is comprehensive, 300 points, giving you a total of 1,000 points. Now, one thing I want to mention about the final exam, although it's comprehensive, all you have to do, study the previous exams plus the brand new module. That's all you have to do to be comfortable with the final. 90% or 900 points gives you an A, 80% or 800 points gives you a B, so on and so forth. So there is no makeup test because you have plenty of time to take it. If something comes up, you can always let me know. I see what I can do for you. Also, among the first 4 exams, the lowest will be dropped and will be replaced by the final, as long as the final is at least at B. Should be a pretty good, score. Your homework and board participation, discussion board, should be high at 90%. And more importantly, when I do the change, it should result in a better letter grade. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose. Of course, missing an exam will result in 0 points. Course late work policy, you really can't afford to do that. If something comes up, some of the assignments in MOM, you can take a late pass, and there is a resource there that explains how to do that, and it does have a 10% penalty. I found this interesting, CSULB 36. In short, it says for every unit that you take, you need to spend 3 hours outside the classroom. So this is a 4-unit course, 4 times 3, you need to spend 12 hours outside the classroom, of course, plus the 4 in essence, it's 16 hours. So to really master the course, and of course, it depends on the background. As far as the dropping is concerned, if anybody misses the orientation, doesn't start the work with the digital homework within 24 to 48 hours, miss the first assignment, which is coming up in a couple of days, or miss any of the exams, will be dropped as a no-show. There are more information for you regarding DSPS, Financial Aid Office. And the summary steps to success is also interesting. You can study the PowerPoints. Do your homework before the deadline under the module link. You can watch the video lectures that are embedded within the homework. Some of them do have embedded video lectures. Study the practice test and their solution. Post questions in the discussion forum on Canvas. Send your questions, of course. Email me via Canvas inbox or campus email, and take the exam in a timely fashion. As far as the office hours are given here in case you have any questions. So basically for this semester, it's posted here. Also, you can find it under the home page of Canvas. I'm going to show you quickly on the home page of Canvas. Can I remind you that you can find it right here? Either way is fine. And so basic needs, justice scholars, netiquette. This is interesting. I want to make sure everybody, understands what this stands for. LBCC, netiquette guidelines for online students. In short, the following etiquette guidelines, behavior associated with socializing online, are suggestions for success in your online learning environment at long visit. This is really just telling us, we are here all to help one another. We are learning from one another, and we are respecting each other. And that's really the bottom line. So we want to be very careful. Of course, this is an educational setting. We should always use the correct spelling and grammar and a positive tone, and you name it. So I hope everybody follows that. Now, going back to the home page of Canvas, and let me close this. The next one is modules. What can you find under the modules? Again, you can click it right here or on the left navigation bar. Either way makes no difference. The very first thing you find is access to MOM. And please pay attention to up here. No need for course ID to log on to MOM. I can't emphasize this enough because this question is always asked and I have no idea why it says there is no need for course ID. Why is it that there's no course ID? Because you're accessing it from here. So you click on this and you register here. So basically you put your username, password, you make up username, password. Normally email address is a good practice. And then you can get into my open math. I'm going to show you later on, but that's what you find first at the top of the modules. The next one, and I'm going to scroll down and show you all of them. Exam 1 module, exam 2, exam 3, exam 4 module, and then module 5. They're all very similar. When I go over exam 1 module, you can see the rest of them that follow. Also, at the end, we have some more resources for formulas, calculators, tables. I want to quickly go over that, and then I come back to the modules. So for example, right here, this is the set of formula sheets that you can use for the exam, okay? So you can use formulas for statistics. I have all the formulas for you. The next one is the tables. You can use tables. For example, the Z-score, the T-score, so on and so forth. For now, you may not know what they are, but by the time we get to it, it makes perfect sense to you. And the last one is about calculators and not just TI. First, I have some commands. In case you want to use a TI calculator, there are some commands that I'm giving you. Also, I'm giving you the method by which I got the emulator, and it is not easy to make it happen. You can get help from the IT department, see if they can help you. If it works out, try this one to go, by going to this, link, and you can download the emulator. If it works, it'll look like this, class. So you will have access to this on your computer for free. Again, I want to tell you honestly, sometimes it's hard to make it work. So if you have a question, you have to contact the tech support. Then I have all the commands that you need for this course. Also, I have other calculators. So take a look here. It says Star Trek right here. That's a different calculator. Z-score calculator. T-score calculator. And I want to Go to the last page or towards the last page. This is another online stat calculator. Social science statistic calculator. So there are many different calculators that you can find here. And I'll also show you the resources in MOM. So you don't have to pay a penny even for your calculators. However, you have to really check them out to see which one works the best for you. And maybe you can even get the emulator in the beginning, as I mentioned it here. Make sure you read this page and see if there is any way you can make this work for you. Going back to the modules. So again, at the end of the page, you find these resources. The other ones are the exam modules, and the top one is the where you find MOM. So let me tell you what happens under exam one module. First and foremost, I have what's called a PT, short for practice test exam review, whatever you want to call that. I highly recommend you either download this immediately or just print it and spend about 5 to 10 minutes reading it. That's all you have to do. Why is that? Because this tells you what is expected of you for the first module or the first exam, if you will. This is the synopsis of everything you need to know. And all you have to do on a daily basis as you go through your PowerPoints, homeworks, all you have to do, just do 1 or 2 questions. Just do 2 or a couple of simple questions. It will make it easy. On the week of the exam, you're practically done with this, and you can concentrate on the exam. Going back to the modules again, then it says chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. I'm going to click on one of them. Those are the PowerPoints, everybody. So if I click on chapter 1, so this brings up the first section, second, and third. So if I click on the first one, this is the PowerPoints that you can download. If you download and you put them in slide mode, when you come across, for example, example 1, it won't give you the whole page. When you put it in slide mode and you click on it, step-by-step solution will be given to you. I highly recommend you do that. And if you go back, you can go with the next section and the next section. And as you study, you take notes to get ready to do your homework. So you can do one chapter and then do your homework, or you can do one section and do your homework, whatever that is more convenient for you. So under exam 1 module, so we have the practice test first, then we have the PowerPoints, and then at the end, we have the solution to this practice test, because as you're working on it, you want to do it on your own from learning experience that you've done with the PowerPoints and homework. And at the end, you want to consult the solution, making sure your solution is correct. But you want to do it at the end after you have done the work on your own. Okay, so what do we have? Not only we have the practice test, we also have the solution to practice test with details. And I want to make sure everybody's clear as to how easy it is to take care of this. So we have some practice test, we have the PowerPoints here, we have the solution to practice test, and on the left navigation bar, if you click on recorded practice test lectures, you find 2 things. You find the practice tests and you find my lectures. Those PowerPoints, I have the lectures here. This is the new recorded practice test lectures. Those practice test exam reviews, whatever you want to call them. See, module 1, practice test, chapter 1, introduction to stats, and then chapter 2, chapter 3, so on and so forth. Therefore, not only we have Go back. Not only we have the practice tests, solution to practice test, we also have the recording step by step of everything. And if you spend enough time, I guarantee you, you learn and you do well with the exam. I'm going to go back to the home page of Canvas. So we've gone through this practice test again and again. As far as the homework, I'll come back to that. The next thing I want to look at is the discussion forum here. Again, I can click on the discussion forum here or the discussion forum here on the left navigation bar, makes no difference. The very first thing you come across is a student bios. I have mine as a sample, as an example. And I appreciate if you could write yours so your fellow students get to know you. I mean, it's not something that you have to do. It would be nice if you did that. The next one is a frequently asked questions. In the past, students had questions. I've tried to get them here and answer them. So before you ask for any question, please consult this. For example, one of the common questions, do I need a course ID? As I've mentioned, you don't need it. Do I need to purchase anything? No. And this is another one that recently happened, where to find the exam password. Every exam is password protected, and it will be emailed to you before you take the exam a week in advance, and you can always find it under the announcements. So please just take a couple of minutes to read that. Then we have module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the discussion forums that are graded. Each one is worth 20 points. For example, the first one. You're required to post at least one question and its solution, either from practice test number 1, posted under the modules, or any source of your choice per grading policy in the syllabus. You must read all the posts and make sure not to duplicate any questions. So you pick a question from any source. If you can't find it from a different source, you can even pick it up from the practice test, but you have to do it properly. So first and foremost, you want to read all the practice, all the posts, because you don't want to have a duplicate, okay? Also, pay attention to this. A question with one-word solution, one-line solution, or definition is not acceptable and results in 0 points for the point. So make sure before you do the first discussion forum, you read all of these, and then the rest of them repeat in the same manner. Then you write the question number. If you pick it up from the practice test, you write the question number, and you write the question, you copy the question word by word, and then you show all your steps using the math equation editor. So, and then that will give you 10 points. 10 points, everybody. 10 points right here. Then you find a similar problem, maybe from YouTube or Khan Academy, and you put the link here. That gives you 5 points. And finally, you want to comment or explain at least one classmate question that is either solved or is found online and posted by watching it carefully in its entirety. What do I mean by that? Explain about what the question addressed and what you learned from it, and outline a few steps you learned as a result. A compliment is nice, but is not a comment. That gives you another 5 points, 5 and 5 and 10, total of 20 points. Here's an example that I put up. I have the question. I'm assuming it's like question number 15 from, somewhere, homework, practice test. Then I'm using a math editor, and I'm showing you all my steps. Look at all these steps. And I'm using the math editor, as I mentioned. Then I pick a similar question online, and I put the link for the fellow students. And finally, I'm commenting on somebody's work, and I'm explaining what it means. Okay, it's not just a compliment. I'm just saying that the post was about what? First, if I read your comment, I should realize what the other student was doing. So you have to sort of explain what it was. For example, this is about the z-score, and then what I learned from it. That gives you a total of 20 points. Now, how to embed an image? Why is this important? Because if for any reason, if you want to pick a piece of paper, write everything, you want to write everything with formulas. You don't want to write, this is the key. The key is not important to me. I want to see how you get to the solution. So if you have a hard time using the math editor, you can write your answer from A to Z and then put the image here. Not that you upload a PDF file, because students have to see it without having to download anything. Also, how do you use the math editor I'm explaining here? You click on reply, then you click on insert, it's right here, and then click on this equation editor. Do you see that? So that's how you use it. I am explaining it with details here. Of course, I'm going to cancel this one. So that's how you get 20 points for each discussion. I'm going to go back to the home page. So the next one is this sample test solutions on the left side or right here. If I click on it, I want you to see what happens. This, you don't need it. Access is denied at this point. Let me see why it does that. Okay, so something is wrong here. I got to have that fixed. I will have it fixed for you. But the purpose of that is and so this one is in case something goes wrong with Canvas and you don't have access to the PowerPoints and recordings and so forth, you can use that. Otherwise, you don't really need that. Going back to the home page, so we discussed just about everything. The last thing is to look at you're going to go back to the modules, and right here, it'll take you to my open math. So what I want to do, I want to get ready to go to my open math here. So it will take you to your digital homework. The very first thing you see, it's mandatory assignment, which is introduction to my open math. And I want to stick with that. I want to start with that. It is extremely important to see what happens here. And so the idea is to teach you how to deal with mom. It's very simple. It's a few questions. It's not a lot. It really doesn't take much of your time, but you know, it's really helpful. So enter the number here. So over here, I need to enter the number. Notice the moment I click on this, it opens a math editor. If I need a fraction or the power or the square root, you name it, it shows up. So let's quickly put this number 85.8285. So we put this in, and this one, oh, I'm sorry. It says round it to the nearest hundreds. So I want to round this to the nearest hundreds. So 85.82 will change to 3. This says divide by 0. We can't divide by 0. It's undefined, but they use D and E. It does not exist. It's fine. So if you submit your question, it shows that you have it right or wrong. Okay. But just for the sake of argument, and let's just answer something wrong here. Convert this to decimal. Let's say 0.2. Okay. If I submit that, it says it's wrong. So all I have to do, get a similar question and do it again. So I hope you realize how nice and easy this one is. Now I'm in the middle of doing my homework. Something comes up, I have to leave. So I'm going to press done. And notice what it shows. It shows that the first one is done, and I have already received my grade in the grade book, but the rest of them are unattempted. I can resume or exit. For now, I'm going to exit. But if I come back to it, it shows the first one is right and move on afterwards. The next one, I'm going to close it for now. This is the set of exams, and I put it at top so you don't miss it when the time comes. I'm going to open it again just to show you the first one is coming up in a few weeks. And for now, we don't have to worry about it. Again, I put it next to the top because sometimes students have a hard time finding it. I didn't want that to happen. Then we have the course description, and I want you to pay attention to the calendar. The very first thing that is due is let's just grab this annotation here, might be helpful. If you look at this one, this homework is due almost immediately. Please do this as soon as possible. Then look at the exam one and write before exam one, all the homework are due. Does that mean that I have to wait until then to do the homework? Absolutely not, because if you do, you will be behind. Please do one section per day. One section per day. If you wait till then, you will get behind. The reason I didn't make it due every couple of days, because there are sometimes students who don't have time until the end of the week. I didn't want to, burden them. Please do this on a daily basis. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time catching up. Now, the next one is module 0, module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5. What I want to go over is this. Module 0, which basically says resources class. So if you go to module 0, we have this introductory statistics. This is the text. And it is based on this text, which if you click on view online, I'm going to close this. It's much easier to access, but the difference is this has the proper order class. This has the proper order. But other than that, it's the same text. This one is easier to access online. So let's go back. What are other resources? How to use a late pass, calendar, my open math gradebook. If you have an exam and then you want to check it out afterwards, all you have to do, click on the grade after the due date and you can check it out. Then we have instructor resources, multimedia library. Now here's what's interesting. Free online calculators. Please take a look. I have so many online calculators for you here for free. And what you should do, you should really check them all out and see which one works for you the best. There are many, many, many calculators. As I mentioned, for example, this is a social science statistics calculator. Okay. You do have to check them out and explore them. This is Star Trek calculator. Again, this is for statistics and probability. Please check all of these calculators that are free. Unless you have your own calculator, you don't want to waste time by all means. Or if, as I mentioned, if you could get the emulator, that would be even better. In any event, as you go down, and there are other calculators, many calculators here, as you go down, p-value calculator, more online calculators. Again, online stat calculator, daily schedule calculator, many, many resources are available to you. So what can you find under module 0? Text, gradebook, calendar, late pass, flowcharts, formulas, online calculators, you name it. So I'm going to close it up. Then module 1, 2, 3. And again, just as we saw it in Canvas, as long as we look at one module, the rest are similar. So if you click on module 1, okay, you see chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. For example, if you, and again, just wanted you to see it in the closed format. Now I'm going to open up chapter 1. So if you click on it, it opens and it shows that it has 1, 2, 3 sections. So if you click on the first section, it says first watch these videos, then do the homework. The setup is such that if you watch these video lectures, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, they are good enough to get you started with your online assignments. These are the videos I recommend you watch. These are my own videos, and these are recommended by other professors also, lectures by other professors. But either way, do you have to watch all of them? Absolutely not. But I suggest you start watching all of them in the beginning to see which ones work the best for you. And then you can go to the homework. And again, when you start class, what matters, even if you answer it correct, fine. If you don't answer it correct, you can pick, a different question. Notice what happens in some cases. For example, question 1, we see that we have a couple of videos here. This one, I have another video. But the third one doesn't have a video. So, and it works just like what I did before, is that you can come back and do the work. The moment you click done, it puts in the one that you have answered, and if it's correct. Okay. So let's quickly recap what we just covered. And I'm going to start with the home page of the course. When you go to Canvas, first there's a welcome message. Then there's a class philosophy, which indicates we are all here to learn and help one another and respect each other. Then the announcements, you can find it here or here. Everything will be emailed to the students, and also you can find them under the announcements. Then we looked at the syllabus. Under the modules, we can find the practice test, the PowerPoints, the solution to the practice test. Then we can do the homework and the exams there. The discussion forum, there are 5 of them. You can click on it here or here, and each one is worth 20 points. And on the left side, this recorded practice test lecture has the PowerPoints and the lectures that have been recorded for you. At the end, you'll see the office hours and the how to join. This is just for the office hours. As far as joining the review session, if you like to, you have to go to the Tech Connect Zoom and make sure you join there, okay, for the review sessions, although everything will be recorded and posted for you. Now I want to go back to my open math. So let's just close this, and then let's close this and my open math, and quickly recap. The very first thing you do is introduction to MO. So you get to learn that. The next thing is exams. This is where you find the exams. You don't want to worry about it yet. Then we have the course description. This is the calendar. Please do your homework on a daily basis. 1 section a day will do the job. Under module 0, you have tons and tons and tons of resources, including your text and free calculators. You start and you be concerned with module 1 only. You click on chapter 1, section 1.1. You watch the first few videos in red, and then you can go do your homework. And again, in the past, there have been cases that students just watched that and they started the homework. You can try that if you like to see if that works out for you. And again, this is the home page of Canvas. I'm sure you'll do fine. I wish you all the best, and Happy studying, everybody.